Hi, welcome to Mass Minutes with Melissa. This week we find ourselves in the 22nd week of Ordinary Time. Jesus is telling his disciples something that they don't want to hear in today's gospel. I want you to listen to this children's version of the gospel to find out what Jesus told them and how one disciple chooses to respond. A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 16, verses 21 through 27. Jesus began to tell his disciples that he would be brought before the high priests in Jerusalem and would be put to death before rising again. "Lord, this cannot be true. This cannot be allowed to happen," exclaimed Peter, who was deeply upset at what Jesus had told them. But Jesus said, "Peter, you are standing in my way. Your way is not God's way." Then Jesus told his disciples, "If anyone wants to follow me, then they must take up their cross and put their own needs aside. Anyone who gives up their life for me will truly live. How can it be worth living? How can it be worth having the whole world if it means giving up life itself? Once life is lost, then it is gone forever. When the Son of Man comes in glory, he will reward each of you according to your actions." This is the gospel of the Lord. So we just heard Jesus tell his disciples that he was going to suffer and die. He is foreshadowing what is going to happen during Holy Week. And the disciples did not like this. They said that they couldn't be true or right. How many times in our life do we feel that way too? When God may not be answering our prayers the way we think, or something happens to us that we're just like, how can this be? Well, we have to remember that God's ways are not our ways, and that God has the whole entire plan out, and he knows what is best for us and our life. All that he asks us to do is to follow him. So he sent his Son to come onto earth and to die on a cross like this, so we don't lose hope and so that we know his word is true. Because 3 days after he died, he rose again, just like he said. So we don't deserve God's love. We do not have to earn it. It is just given to us. So when we look at this cross, we shouldn't see sadness. We shouldn't see pain and anger. We should see hope. We should see love. We should see God's ultimate gift to us. This is sometimes hard for me. I tend to look at the cross and think how sad that God had to die for us. But I recently have been reading, and the people in El Salvador look at the cross with happiness and with joy. And a tradition they have in their country is to take cross shapes and to put illustrations on it or words that share their belief in God and God's promises to us. So that's my challenge for you this week. I want you and your family to take some construction paper or just regular paper and color across and work together to make a beautiful cross that's bright and colorful and cheerful, that shows all the ways that you believe in God and God believes in you. Show pictures of hope. Put words of encouragement on the cross. And then post it in our Facebook group so that we can see how your family views God's love for us. And then after that, put it in your prayer space. So when you're praying over the week, you can not only be reminded of the suffering that Jesus went through and that we have to go through in life, but also in the joy and the hope of the resurrection and of what is to come in eternal life. God bless.